be here with us today because we would have missed that. So, now, if any of the grandkids would like to come up and share a memory of Grandpa, I think Jade has a special one. Do you want to tell her story?
I want to tell about the fish.
I'll tell him about the fish. I'll tell him about the fish.
Yeah. Why don't you do it together? Do it together.
Come here, baby. Let's go tell him about
You
the fish.
too, Sky.
Here's another really classic Dawn story that I meant to put down on paper, and I was hoping that we could share. Yeah, I'm sure y'all can appreciate this.
For Christmas, he gave me a dead fish.
Well, baby, we gotta tell him why you got a fish. So, you know,
Not a dead one.
so Jade put her Christmas list together last year,
She wanted a fish
and of
for
course, what was
Christmas.
on it? A fish. I want a fish for
A
Christmas.
real fish.
So what did Grandpa Don do?
A dead fish.
Goes out and buys my young daughter a giant smoked mackerel, vacuum sealed, and wraps it up and gives her the dead fish for Christmas. And of course she opened it and said, well, I wanted a fish, but not a dead fish. And, you know, Dad just thought that was the funniest thing in the world. That's what he did. Yeah, so that was a pretty classic one. Tell him what Grandpa called you.
Tell me,
JQ. JQ. Your favorite nickname, right? I think it's really cute. So did Grandpa. And, yeah, Jade didn't really
But
appreciate
this
that.
week when somebody asked Jade, so she didn't like the nickname JQ. Her name's Jade Quinn. So Grandpa called her JQ, which some of us might think that's pretty cute, but not Jade. So somebody asked, Tara reported that somebody asked her on Monday what her nickname was, and she quickly reported JQ. Right? So if you want to make friends with Jade, don't call her Jade. Do you have anything you want to share about Grandpa?
She's a cutie.
Okay.
You told me that you liked the fact that he poked at your sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like that? Okay, thanks. Kyle?
Sure. So I'm the oldest grandson or grandchild, and one thing about Grandpa Don that he passed down, especially to my mother, was he talked a lot. He was probably one of the people where you could talk to him on the phone and just put it down on the desk and continue whatever you were doing. Come back 10 minutes later and he'd be on the same story.
That'd be my mother.
Yeah, So it was kind of a trait in the Peterson family, and I would say, I don't know, there's this one specific time where we were really trying to go somewhere. We were at some parking lot or something, and somehow Grandpa and I'm pretty sure my mom as well just met this random person. And I just remember talking to Grandma Christine. I'm like, Grandma, are we ever gonna leave? She's like, no, we're gonna be stuck here for a while. I was like, yeah, that's what happens when you put my mom and Grandpa Don together. I'll never get anywhere. I'll just remember him for talking someone's ear off every time you met someone.
Kyle is a senior at Westmont College in Santa Barbara, and Grandpa Don is so jealous. He would say, I think I'm going to go be a janitor up at Westmont. And he was determined to, get up there and spend more time. But he would watch Kyle's basketball games on Apple TV any chance he could. And we were headed to basketball last Saturday when he unfortunately left us a little too early. So. Blake? And Ashley. Alrighty. Anybody else like to come up or stand where you are and share a memory or a funny story or insight that maybe we didn't know that Don told you?
I have one.
I can, everybody hear me from here. As long as I've been alive, he was Uncle Don. And, my dad and he were cousins, but because of the age difference, it was sort of a uncle thing. When I came along, well, that was just a natural thing. But about 20 years or more older. And I remember as a small kid that there wasn't a household project, whether it was painting the house or building a retaining wall, that Don was out there side by side with my dad doing all of that. I remember the Navy uniform and all of that, and everybody flying, my dad too, and all. I was around for um, Don and Shirley's wedding and all, and then was proud to ride in that Mustang out there in the first few weeks of its ownership, and many, many times since then. And when Brent came along, Kara first and then Brent, and all, the age difference was such that I sort of did that uncle routine for a little while with Brent, and not so much Kara, but with Brent and all. And just want to remind you guys all that the reason we all love to ski and love Mammoth Mountain and the whole Sierra thing is entirely due to Don. But that's a legacy we can all carry on, and be very proud to know him and all. And then Christine, I guess I've known her for what feels like 40 years or something, but visited them in many of their locales, whether it was Reno or even stopped and saw them in Tennessee at the house there. Gosh, what a wonderful life, and what a way to go. So,
Thanks, Mark.
Don, we'll miss you.
Thank you. Mike Mellon.
So I think I'd like to say a few words.
You are awesome. Of course.
You know, because I'm just surrounded by Don's love, and he was just my whole life, my everything, and he swept me off my feet when we met up in Mammoth Lake back in 1982. We got married the following October of 1983. 5 months later, we were off to the Middle East, and that was the start of our adventure. I had never traveled, and I remember, you know, the first time that we landed in Amman, Jordan, and I'm thinking, oh, I was just in shock because I was just living in California in my small world, and he just was, yeah, I had such a wonderful life with him, an opportunity to see the world, experience things that most people would never experience, and he was the most loving, wonderful, caring husband that someone could ever have, and he will be dearly, dearly missed.
Yes.
Hi, my name's David Perez, and I didn't know Don as long as everybody else probably here did, but I love Donald, and we kind of hit it off when we first met, and he always called me his pretend brother-in-law. And I'll miss the fact that you'll never ever get a chance to maybe someday be his real brother-in-law. I'll miss Donald.
Carlene.
I have a story. I will kind of edit it so we don't get into a big argument here. But I met Don, my husband and I met Don when he moved to Mammoth, and Don and I worked in the same real estate office and became good friends. Shared many a bottle of wines together. Anyway, we were at a party at a mutual friend's one year. The year was 2007, just before elections. And Don and I were in the kitchen, and we got into a really